Great. I think we are online. Okay, so welcome to our first guest speaker,
Great.
Gaurav Bhel. Thank you so much for being here
Thank
and
you.
saying yes to this.
You attracted it.
Um, so Gaurav Bhel is a law of attraction teacher's trainer, law of attraction coach trainer, transform your life workshop leader, life coach, kids and teen workshop leader, a channeler and a healer. And with my own experience with him in a workshop, I can say that he really follows and practices what he preaches. And he really is a believer. And I think everything that he's created in his life is really coming from his practice and his inner deeper work. And that really reflects through his personality. And I love that about him. I think the first vibration I get from Gaurav is a lot of surrender and abundance to be able to create whatever life offers or whatever he is in the flow and in the path for. So thank you so much for being here, Gaurav.
You're very welcome.
Okay, so tell us what attracted you towards this path and how come you chose to be a law of attraction teacher and into this whole flow.
So my spiritual journey started around 2013. Till that time, I struggled with almost everything, be it relationship, health, work, money. But that was a period in time where nothing was really working out for me at that point in time. Um, I was running a company, which it was about a recruitment company for about 8 years. And this was a patch that was going on that point in time for about 8 months that I was spending money to run operation. I was putting in 20,000 every month from my pocket to run operations. And when I would look at my schoolmates and classmates reaching milestones in their lives, I felt
Right.
embarrassed at what I was doing, where I was not taking any money home,
Okay.
and I was breaking my deposits to run operations. My cost was about a lakh, and my net revenue was 80,000. Now this is revenue. This is not money coming in. It's billed. It would come in. So
Oh,
a
okay.
month or two, you don't make money. It's okay. But for 8 months, you're not making money and putting in money. For the first time in my life, I was feeling like a failure. Every time people
Mm,
would say, Gaurav, why are you doing business? Why don't you just do a job? You'd get a fixed money and you'd be happy. And I would always believe in my dreams. But this is the first time ever that uh, I accepted on a lot of levels that the dream that I had, they were too big for me to achieve, and I had overestimated my capacity and capability. I accepted that I'm a very average guy. So in
okay.
terms of relationship, I was suffering. I had separated at that point in time, and more than the relationship not working out, it is more that I am not there as a father to my child as well. So I'm not a good son. I couldn't be a good husband. I am not there for my child as well. So emotionally, financially, and mentally, I was really down. And that was when I met a schoolmate of mine, and he'd come from Bangalore, and he was a pilot, and he called me up and said, "Hey, I'm here. Do you want to catch up?" And it's like 17 years after school, and uh,
Okay.
I said, "Yeah, sure, let's meet up." So I go and meet this guy, and when he asked me how's life, how's everything, and for the first time ever, I did not want to really fake it and say, yeah, life is good, life is fine. I just, for the first time, just spoke out aloud, and I said, hey, nothing is great. And he said, what is not great? I said,
Oh,
anything and everything, nothing is great.
right.
And he said, do you have any health issues? And I said, I have an upset stomach all the time. And he said, that means there's some events that have happened that you've not been able to
Mm,
digest. We live in a yes universe. Everything that we say, universe says yes to. The person who
right.
doesn't want a fly in the milk is the person who's going to find the fly in the milk. That's the example he gave me.
Yeah.
And
Right.
these were so unique concepts. I'd never really heard about them. But there's something that happened in that conversation where I said, you know what? I feel like telling God I've had enough. In
Right.
retrospect, whenever I'm telling this story, I get emotional because in retrospect, that was when my life changed. When I
Yeah.
said, I feel like telling God I've had enough. I feel as if God was standing next, and He said, okay, so we. What I did was I give up my struggle and my resistance, and I
Mm-hmm.
let the universe help me because this interaction was interesting. And then he said he's learned the art of breathing, which would help him balance his life. And so I happily asked him that, where did you learn this? I'll be happy to learn. Because I was thinking that anything that could give me any support, I would wanted to get hold of any support that I can get right
Right.
now. I'd never experienced that. And the feeling of failure is a feeling of sinking. And that is what I was having in every facet of my life. So he said, let me get back to you and let you know how you can get this. And if you require to come to Bangalore, he'd come from Bangalore. And
Right.
so he goes back in a week. He calls me up and says, hey, the person I wanted you to meet, you don't have to come to Bangalore to meet him. He's coming to Hyderabad next week and you can meet him there. I'm like, great. So next week, this fellow comes in. I meet this guy. And the first thing he does is he gives me this book, You Can Heal Your Life. He says, just read the book. It'll change your life. And
Okay.
when I got this book, till that time I had done no reading ever. I had read no books. Uh, I understand that Indians don't really like to read. You know, they
Yeah.
they're made to read when they don't want to read. So they get the job and they get the marks and they never come back to the books. But books are a storehouse of knowledge. And when this book came along, I started reading. And though the book didn't shift anything, but it shifted my consciousness. It shifted, gave me hope, and changed the way I would think. And when I would go to work, I became hopeful. There's nothing that changed at work, but there was positivity in the air. I was
Yeah.
hopeful that I would be able to make it. That's all. After a
Right.
month, this friend called me up and he said that, you know what, there's a Heal Your Life workshop happening in Bangalore. Do you want to do it? And I was like, I just went internal. I said, I met this guy. He introduced me to Mr. Ravi, who introduced me to You Can Heal Your Life. This is a Heal Your Life workshop. There's an inner
Yeah.
nudge. There's a dotted line connection with saying, do it, do it, do it. I was a very logical
Right.
guy. I never understood signs and dots. But this is the first time ever that I was, internally looking at signs and it made sense. That don't think about what you're going to get there, who's going to conduct it, what are the contents, but there's something that's guiding you. Let's do it. Every time people come to
Hmm.
my workshops, I tell them something guided you. What it was, you don't know, but you were connected enough
Right.
to come into that space.
Yeah.
So I said, yes, let's go ahead and do it. And he said, do you want me to talk to Mr. Ravi and find out what he says about it? I said, yeah, sure. So he speaks to Ravi and comes back to me and said, hey, and he said that, these are very powerful events. Go ahead and do it. And don't go with any expectations. Go with an empty mind. And because I was like half done with the book, I said, I'm not going with an empty mind and I'm not going with zero expectations. I know this workshop will change my life. I was using affirmations even before I went.
Right.
So now it's 8 days before the workshop, and is where we said, okay, let's go ahead and do it. I had I had no money then. I didn't want to break another deposit to do a workshop. I said, I'm going to put this knowledge to test and I'll attract the money for the workshop. And in those 8 days, from new resources, I got the exact amount of money to go to Bangalore, come back, do the workshop. So I go ahead, do it. In the workshop, there were about 20 participants. And there are certain things that I was asked to do repeatedly.
Hmm.
So end of the workshop, I made fantastic breakthroughs. So out of those 20 people, I was the one who made, fantastic breakthroughs because I was asked to do stuff which others were not really asked to do. At that point
Right.
in time, it felt like, why is the workshop leader telling me again and again, I really want to vanish here. but I was nitpicked again and again. But this helped me. Uh, and at that point in time, it did not make sense, but it helped me really. So when the work was done, I was so happy and it felt so such a relief because I come with such big expectations in that space. I remember meeting a friend of mine um, who later on became LOA teacher certified by LOA League, my company as well later on. But I meet this guy after I'm done with the workshop, August
Mm.
29th, 2013, and this fellow's, I'm telling him, you know what, this was such a great experience. These principles work. I know they work. I'll show you. I have a return ticket with me. I came here by applying these principles. I have a return ticket. I have 100 rupees in my wallet also left. And he's
Okay.
like, okay, right. So do one thing. He digs into his wallet and says, this is 1,000 rupees. Just put it in your wallet. And I said, why? See, you're traveling, you have a night journey, going by bus, you just might need
Right.
money for emergency, just keep it. And I said, the universe that gave me the resources to come here, it will take care of any other thing that I need. So thanks, but no thanks.
No thanks.
Mm.
Yeah.
So in the
Right.
next 9 months, everything with me changed and turned around. My relationship with my parents change radically. I felt all these years that kept my parents responsible for the faulty parenting that they had given, and I held a lot of anger, and I found all that was released, and my relationship with them changed radically. Relationships on a personal level which are over and which I was not able to accept, I was able to do that. Relationship which I wanted to bring to close, which were abusive in
Mm.
nature, I was able to put a stop to them. Work
Right.
changed radically. In the next 9 months, my work increased 5 times without adding
Wow.
any new manpower, without adding any new clients. Same clients, same work, but because there was internal change, it went
Mm.
from a revenue of 80,000 to we were doing in the last quarter 11.5 lakhs in one quarter.
Mm-hmm.
So that is the kind of revenue that I was, so about, roughly about 3 lakhs. So I was like so
Wow.
amazed at what was created. And so by the time I was done with, you know, selling my company, next month I was able to do a deal as well to sell my company about 70% more than what I was expecting for it because it was a loss making. I don't want to run it, and somehow I got a client. And when I sold, I said I'm going to give this organization with so much of love and blessings. And even though I have not been able to make money in the last 1 year, this will create a
Mm.
lot of money for the client. So I gave it with a lot of love, and that's why the moment this transition happened or sale deed happened, then I'm going to be selling it. Work started improving, and it improved from you know 2.4 lakhs a quarter to 11.5 lakhs a quarter. And so
Wow.
this was a radical. So by the time I was done, I knew that I had encountered principles which had helped me become successful no matter what I do. And this
Right.
was so nice to feel coming into light after spending all your
Mm.
years in darkness. And this was so, I was such a happy person. And
Right.
so I said, let me become a teacher of these concepts. I'd taken risks all through life. I said, let me do this. And anyway, I've taken risks. If I sail through, I'll inspire people. And if I fail, anyway, nobody will come to know. So let me go ahead and do this. As far as work was
Right.
concerned, I knew my internal understanding about work had changed. So I knew I'll do some or the other work. I do a job, but whatever I do, I know I'll be successful. That's a feeling that had already come.
Yeah. Right.
So I became a Helio Life teacher in 2014. Uh, I did about 55 Helio Life workshops till date. Um, I did the maximum number of Helio Life workshop anybody has done in the world till date. And
Oh,
this is
wow.
about a year and a half back is where I understood that, you know, no, after 2014, next year I went for the Helio Life coach training in the UK. I got trained in UK. After 2015, grew. 2016, I went for an Abraham workshop because when I had heard Louise speak that the best teachers on this planet at this point in time are Abraham Hicks, then the teacher of my teacher
Yeah.
is my teacher automatically. And I said, okay, I'm gonna. It was not easy to understand Abraham because they speak really fast. So the same stuff you
Yeah.
had to hear it over and over and over and over
Right.
again. And every time you hear it, the meaning keeps shifting as your consciousness keeps shifting.
Yeah.
So, I mean, after 2 years of listening to Abraham, I went for an Abraham workshop, and it was a great experience. Next year, I again went for an Abraham workshop. This time, I went on the hot seat. So when I reached the Abraham workshop, there are like 1,400 people, and not one is from
Right.
India, mind you. And
Wow.
out of those 1,400, there are 24 that are called on the hot seat. Now, the same person can be called twice. The same person can be called thrice
Oh,
as well.
right.
So in all,
Okay.
there will be about 18, 19 people who get
Mm-hmm.
opportunity to be on the hot seat. And when I went for this workshop, I went on the hot seat, and I was on the hot seat for the longest period anybody was. People get to ask one question, and they allowed me to ask three questions. Next year, I again went for a Abraham workshop, which is last year, 2019, and I again went on the hot seat. And I have been teaching these principles because they work for me. And the first
Right.
thing I do is I learn and then I apply, and then I create programs in which it's very easy to apply. Concepts are available, but concept doesn't change your life. It's application, and anything that can
Right.
help you apply this easily. That is where the key is. Now, think about it. In school,
Mm.
what was your favorite subject, Purva?
Mm. Language, Hindi,
So, any subject which you say was my favorite subject, you had a very good teacher.
possibly. Yeah.
It's your fondness of the subject depends on how you would explain that subject so that you got attracted
True.
to it because it's easy to understand. So if you have
Yeah.
someone who can help you understand law of attraction in a language that you can
Mm.
apply these principles easily. See, these principles are being
Right.
taught for a very different audience. This is for Europe.
Mm-hmm.
This is for America. The way of thinking is very different. You cannot get a gadget from the US and plug it into your 220 volts here. You have to use an adapter. You cannot get
Right.
seeds from there and put it here. You have to create the right environment for it to grow. What I do is I learn from these Western philosophers and change it in a manner that we in India are able to understand it and grasp it.
True.
And
Yes.
then it works for us. So in the format that they are giving, it doesn't grow here. In that format, it would to 20%, 30%. But then
Right.
if you can actually change it so that you are able to adapt to this environment, because I've been born and brought up in this environment, I know what
Right.
limitations we have here.
Yeah. Yeah.
You understand beliefs of
Right.
Indians. You said the problem is the way we think about almost every subject. Every
True.
subject you think about, we are a fear-based mentality is what we have on every concept. Be it
Right.
love, be it work, be it career,
Right.
uh, be it God. Every concept that you will see that we use fear as a concept.
Yeah.
So unless you're able to shift that, law of attraction doesn't work. Law of attraction is all about love. God is all about love. And the more you use fear, you move away from godliness. And
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
things don't work for you. But if things can be put across in a manner that's very easy to understand, now you can apply it. And that's what I do. Last year I met
Right.
Bruce Lipton and Greg Braden in in Rome in a workshop, and then I understood what Louise here was doing. There's so many teachers which have taken that work so much beyond. Louise here was teaching
Right.
the workshop that is available was about 35, 38 years ago. So it's a
Yeah.
35, 38-year-old technology. There's so much more advanced stuff available in the US right now, which nobody in India teaches. Whatever we taught is decades old there. So what I
Right.
did was I brought in what is being taught there here. And so there's such a radical difference and a shift
Mm-hmm.
that participants feel when they're part of that space. So yeah, I've done about 149 workshops so far, and that keeps getting better for all the participants. And most importantly, rather than the work, my true reward is the transformation I get to see in their lives. And
Yeah.
when they feel that happiness in their heart and the gratitude that they pay me, that's my real reward. There's no other domain where you get so much love from people and genuine love because their life shifted and you played a role. That is my true reward that I get. So I tell people I
Right.
get rich by making them rich.
Wow. Like such an incredible journey, like very powerful also, because see, it's not like we're not aware of law of attraction as if we've not read, because Rhonda Byrne, I think, is one of the books every collection will have today. But like you said, the essence that I caught with all that you've shared right now was that something internalized very deeply for you, which actually changed all your belief systems on a very core level, because of which you literally became a magnet. Like you went to that 1400 gathering and you could actually, you know, be there on the hot seat. And so many things, like you somehow said you knew that, any business that you would do, you'll just manage and you will do well. So I think there are two things that I'm able to draw from this whole thing is that, like you said, love, self love, and applying love to every sphere of your life. And the second thing is, like you said, like when people come to your workshop, you feel that they were guided. There is something that guides them. They might not know what. So I think this intuitive, this intuitive pull that we humans have now, it's very tough to talk about it, and it looks like a very high tech word, intuition, and these sixth sense. Like people make a very big deal out of it. So I think these two things, I mean, this makes everything so powerful, like your self love, and that you're in the flow. You're able to just, uh, just know that okay, this will come up. This is next. This is next. You're just drawn in the flow towards those things, and that's why you just know that it's just going to work great for you. So can you just tell us a little about more how what self love means to you? How do you apply it in your life? Like you said, concepts are there, but application is all.
So the knowledge, they say knowledge has power, and I say no. Knowledge has the potential for power. It's the application of the knowledge that has the real power. It's not knowledge which is powerful. And
Right.
some people know law of attraction and don't apply it. And I tell them, you're equivalent to somebody who doesn't know law of attraction because you're not really applying it. You have a car and you don't drive is equivalent to somebody who doesn't have a car, you see, if you're walking to your destination. So there's so many people who are conceptually aware, but they
Hmm.
fail to apply it because their understanding hasn't grown. And that is the place where I come in. I help them apply it. And once they begin to apply
Hmm.
it, things
Right.
shift. See, my life shifted radically from that workshop. But then that workshop, like I said, there were 19 other people. My life shifted. They all felt inspired by my story. I think about 10 out of those 19 people came to me, did workshop with me, and then their life shifted for them. So they also experienced the same breakthrough as I did. So what I have done is from that point in time, I have never done a job. I have never done employed with somebody else. I do not do anything else. I just read these concepts and then I put them to test in my mind, in my life. That's all I did. I met this year March. I had met Michael Beckwith, who had come from the US for International Yoga Festival, and I met him, and he was speaking, and I'm like, this is nice. So can I get to have a one-on-one with him? Like you wanted to speak to me. I said, there is a lot of people here, but then I can manifest. Let me have a word with him. And I could have a one-on-one, recorded it with him. And when I heard him speak, it was something that I manifested. And it was such a pleasant experience at that point in time because the knowledge, like I said, that was being given. He was in the secret 2006. And I asked him, what is the message that you have for the people now? And he said, law of attraction was an introduction. Right now, there's so much more knowledge that is available, and he gave all that knowledge as well on that audio. And and so what I am doing after he had spoken, I was dazed for about a few hours, and I kept analyzing what he had given me. And so I realized, what am I doing? I'm just always into this mode of analysis, and in my mind, I'm running experiments, and I understand this works, this doesn't, and I could apply this way. So I just keep experimenting with law of attraction. And when things work out for me on a personal level, I create a program in which the same thing can be imbibed by them, and they can reprogram their subconscious mind during those 2 days. So there are so many workshops, but then what I do is that this is in a very easy manner, and shifts are guaranteed. When I started doing the workshop, I would put down, 100% money back guarantee. There's no other teacher who does it. And the reason
Yeah.
I do it, because I know it works. And only if they have the conviction that, okay, I'm open about it. If they're open about it, magic will happen. Because it's
Right.
so powerful. If you're open, universe is just, I don't have any powers. I don't have zero powers. It's only they have the power, and I introduce them to their own power through my own alignment. I am aligned, and they tune in to their own alignment, something, the power that has always been them. We live in a time where the prime minister of this country was a tea seller once. So the difference between a tea seller and a prime minister is becoming aware of their own power.
Right.
What I do
So
is help them become aware of their own power. Let go of the program that they have learned, self-sabotaging program that they are carrying without being aware. Your life is created 95% by the subconscious mind. So 95%, if I have programs which are not empowering programs, which I got it from others. So now understand, if I come from a rich family, I've got a rich program working for me. But if I'm coming from a poor family, poor environment creates a poor
yeah.
vibration, and it's
Right.
vice versa. The poverty is a result of poor consciousness about money. And if I've got
True.
this, I only recreate that generation after generation. This is the only time
True.
space reality where it does not matter where you're born. People are here to inspire you and show you through their own example that they are able to break limitations from a lower to a middle, middle to an upper to an upper. A class jump that they're able to do, and if they can do it, you can do it too. Only time in reality. 70 years ago, 80 years ago, 200 years ago, you can never jump classes.
Yeah.
Now you can.
Now
And this knowledge is making itself or revealing itself to people because there's an asking. Is law of attraction working? But it has to be an asking in their mind for the universe to help. When you come to know about law of attraction, first thing that you want to do is you want to help everybody. But you can help anybody who's not willing to be helped. So you wait for the right people to come in, and when they're ready, when the student is ready, the teacher arrives. So when you understand these concepts, life shifts radically. 2 years back, we did the first teacher training, and there are 3 teacher trainings that have happened in all. And there are about 76 teachers who are teaching law of attraction, who are doing these workshops. There are 30
Right.
coaches of law of attraction who are teaching these concepts, who have grown spiritually. They understand these concepts in depth to be able to help others. As Abraham says, this is the time where a lot of teachers will come, because this is a time of reawakening. So it's not one part of the globe that is going to awaken. People all over the globe are going to awaken. 40
Right.
years back, spirituality meant go to the Himalayas. So when
Yeah.
you get spiritual now, your parents get a little worried. What are you up to? Are you going to stay in the family, right? You're not going to leave,
Yeah.
right? They get a little worried because their concept of spirituality was anybody who's spiritual leaves the family. 40
Right.
years ago, that's the concept. 20 years ago, uh, you could you'd be able to do workshops and become
Right.
spiritual um, in metros. Only in metros you could actually have
Mm-hmm.
workshops available. Now, thanks to lockdown, you don't have to go anywhere to do workshops. The workshops are
Right.
coming home. It does
Yeah.
not matter where you're located. Which is so
Yeah.
great. What this lockdown has done is that they've given, now it's the age of information age is what has
Yeah.
begun. The
True.
industrial age is what is officially over now. So everybody who's in this age is going to grow. The company that is making money is all linked with internet, all linked with information. Anything which is industrial is going to go down. Reliance grew two and a
Yeah.
half times during lockdown because now they're selling geo platforms and not petrochemicals. Amazon CEO, 2 days back, he's the only guy who has now $200 billion. Only guy. And last year, he was at about 130 billion. So, in this
Yeah.
short period of lockdown, he's gone from 130, I've gone 50% more in 6 months. So, if I'm into this information technology, I am
Mm-hmm.
going to grow. This is what the time is all about. So, those who are available to learn, willing to change, quote unquote,
Yeah.
life is there for them. And not everybody is willing to change. And so there'll be a lot more who are not willing to change because it's not easy to change,
It's not
easy to
easy.
let go, easy to forgive, easy to do inner work. It needs resolve. And if you're able to have that resolve, you are able to make an incredible life.
So I think you shared, the essence of law of attraction that if somebody is willing to change, they can, apply the concepts because I think the concepts are all out there. It isn't like a secret anymore. How when the book came out, it was literally like a secret. But now I think we all know about it, ask, believe, and receive. So there's something that I always experience. Maybe this is my personal question, but I think many people will resonate with this. For me, it's like step one is ask, believe, and receive. So, but here you're still asking, like I am deciding for myself. So I am, in my head, I think I know best for me. And so I'm, asking so and so things. It could be money. It could be any physicality that I want to create in my life. Versus there's this, second stage of, like ascending to more surrender and more acceptance. So I think that is where I, keep getting, torn apart, where I feel that, okay, what if I don't know the best for me and I don't know what to ask, the universe. Okay, I want to be in the flow. I really want the best to come to me. So, when I'm into this boat where I don't want to state what is best for me and I don't want to ask, the literal thing. Okay, I want to ask peace, I want to ask love, I want to ask joy, but I don't want to decide how it comes to me. So how do you work on those platforms? Like how do you then incorporate law of attraction in your life then?
See, you have to do the asking, no matter what you ask. Whether you want to ask joy, you're still asking for joy. How
Okay.
is not your domain? How is not your problem? How is the
Mm-hmm.
universe's domain? How and the when are the domains of the universe? You
Okay.
talk about what you want. And if you say, I do not know the specifics, then you ask in the general sense. If you want love, ask for love. If you want joy, ask for joy. Be specific. If specific makes you feel good, be generic if generic makes you feel good. So ask what you feel comfortable. But you still have to do the asking. A lot of people say, I am not going to do the asking. And I tell them, if you don't do the asking, you cannot get anything. You'll only get weeds. Your mind is basically uh, a field where you can sow anything you want. And you
Right.
say, I am not going to sow anything. And if you sow nothing, you'll only get weeds. As simple as that. You'll only get experiences you don't want because you're not declaring what you do want. So you have to be very clear
Right.
about what you do want, because now people have this belief that, the universe wants something out of you. The universe wants you to be happy. So what you said, the secret is available. The secret is only a concept. How to apply that is something that you have to learn. Just like, law of gravity is a concept. How do you apply it? Now you can use the law of gravity to make an aeroplane. You can make it a rocket. You can make a missile. You can make a spaceship. You can make a satellite. You are applying it in so many levels. The concept is the same. The law of attraction is just a concept. How do you apply it? That is the key. Anything that can apply. You don't take a book because you want to, get on a plane of law of gravity. You just take a plane. So there are workshops which are designed to give you results. Be it, okay, I want to release my past pain. What is past pain? I have had programs which are running, which are self-sabotaging programs, and I have the same events repeating on a relationship level,
Right.
on a health level, on a money level. These are programs, and they keep repeating. I want to do my inner work so I can release those programs. Now there's a 2-day program where I could go and release them. Now I have this concept. The concept is in its place. But can you apply that concept for me so that I'm done? I'm done. He's a
Mm.
bus which will take you from point A to point B, and you have arrived on point B, it's done. Okay, I would like to change my money beliefs. I belong to a poor country. Poor country is the poor consciousness of money. And so I might have limiting beliefs. I would like to become aware of what I'm carrying on a subconscious level. And then I would like to have prosperity consciousness. When I created my money workshop, before that, I wanted to go on the hot seat, and then ask this question from Abraham. And when I got the answer, I wanted to apply it, create personal prosperity from myself. And only when I did it for myself did I launch the money workshop. I knew the concept for 2 years. I kept applying those concepts. I kept
Mm.
generating growth for myself, but I didn't launch it till the time I created a benchmark for myself. I wanted to buy a BMW and then, launch a money workshop, because I wanted to show that for myself first, that these concepts work. And when I was convinced, then I wanted to bring it to others as well, and like, this works. So either you can go through with a lot of books and do a lot of testing, or you can just do a program where everything shifts for you. I come from a background where when I was in class 6th and 7th and 8th, I was going to school in a bicycle. And that was 15 kilometers one way. When I was in 9th,
Mm.
10th, 11th, 12th, I had a moped. So that's the kind of background that I come from, a middle class family where there was everything that you could really need, but there's nothing really that you could want. So I got very limiting programs related to prosperity. So from coming from a background of going to school in a moped to being able to buy a BMW, it was a big thing for me to able to change my program. When in 2013, when I got introduced to this, 2014, I only had a bike. I didn't even could afford a car. So in those years, if I've been able to move, I know these concepts work. They've been working for everybody. So this is magical when you get to apply it, and if you can get tools. Concept is in its own place, but it's
Yeah.
application which is the key.
So now, since you, I mean, actually, congratulations! Like, wow, BMW. So now, since we're talking about it, is there something in a simplified way, in your experience, that you can share with our audience? Uh, the essence of law of attraction that you have been practicing and that you embody through your work, through your, love leadership. So what would that be? If you just had to, share a little essence in a simple, like you say, simplified way.
See, let's say I talk to the audience which knows law of attraction. Those who do not
Right,
know law of attraction has to understand that. Because those
right,
who do not know law of attraction have not been doing the asking in the proper manner. They've been asking vibrationally what they don't want. They are those people
right,
who are just in the problem, in the issue. They are the ones who are talking about, I don't want to be poor. I don't want ill health. I don't want to be in the hospital. I don't want abusive relationship. They're still talking about what they don't want, don't want, don't want. So they are doing a different kind of asking. The real asking happens when you say what you do want. So, and these people understand law of attraction. So I'll talk to that audience who understand law of attraction and has been trying to apply law of attraction. See, one part
Right.
is asking. Now, these are the people who would say, I understand the concept, but I have got success. I've got limited success. Small things come, big things don't. I think about this, a friend of mine, and the friend of mine calls me. I think of a small thing that happens, but big things don't happen. The reason why big things don't happen is because they think these things are big. If they thought these things are
Mm,
small, they would happen easily. Basically, they're
right.
carrying resistance on that subject, which means they're carrying other beliefs which are interfering. So the work for
True.
them is only to shift their beliefs.
Right.
My workshop or any workshop after which you feel a life change has shifted your belief system. It is ask, believe, receive. Your only work is only believing. To the extent I am able to shift their beliefs in a space, to that extent they are able to get more miracles in their life. Then they come back
Right.
again for advanced workshop, then they come back for a super advanced. Every time they're able to come into this space, they're able to shift their belief, they're able to trust more. The
Right.
more the trust, the more it happens. The more they're able to trust
Right.
is the more they're able to let go of the fears that they're holding. Subconsciously, they do not know what they are carrying.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
this is what this space is all about. You get quiet, you become aware of what you're doing internally. What you heard 20 years back and 30 years back is still running your life on a subconscious level. We help, we empower them to release those programs
Yeah.
and replace those programs with programs which have more belief in what you're asking for. And as you're able to make those shifts, you're
Right.
able to see shifts in your external life. Your external
Yeah.
life is only a mirror of your own beliefs. What beliefs do I have to change, Gaurav? Look at your life. Your life is a
Yeah.
mirror of the beliefs that you have. Things that come easily in your life. You have a program within you that supports it. Things that are difficult and they do not come. They are a program that is not supporting it. And those are the works that you will have to do. Those are the beliefs that you have
Yeah.
to shift. You can do it internally, or you can do it in a program, in a workshop, where it can happen in a
Yeah.
short term. But your work, all your life is shifting beliefs. What do you
Yeah.
believe to earn? What do you want to earn? I would like to earn a lakh a month sitting home, at home. Great. Whatever you can believe today, you'll be able to achieve tomorrow. What you're able to achieve tomorrow, now you have bigger expectations. The thing is
Yeah.
that you have to apply these principles and make another shift in your beliefs before you go from 1 to 2, 2 to 5 lakhs, 5 to 10 lakhs. You have to continuously shifting it. What people do is that they want to use the old belief system, which got them 1 lakh, to get them 10 lakhs. No, you have to shift the belief system to 10 lakhs for you to get that result,
Yeah.
which means you have to continuously do inner work. You're never done
Yeah.
because your desires keep expanding, just like a video game. You play
Yeah.
a video
Yeah.
game and you're able to cross stage one, then you're able to play cross stage two. You have to
Yeah.
keep improvising, keep using better tools and techniques to cross the stage. And unless you are able to evolve, you cannot cross that stage. That's how life is. You have to keep evolving. You will not be able to pass class three by you learning or reading class standard two books. You have to keep evolving.
True.
And if you can keep evolving, you can
Yeah.
keep growing, keep learning, and keep applying and keep making new breakthroughs. So, like
Yeah.
somebody like Jeff Bezos, who kept modifying, keep changing his beliefs, and keep growing. What I have done is consistently learn, meet these teachers, evolve in the process. Who I was 7 years back is not who I am now. And every time
Right.
you've met me, you've done a workshop with me, you've met me, who I was then,
Mm.
who I am now is a different person altogether because I keep evolving, and who I'll be next year will be a different person. And if I'm able to change, I'm able to create a different result. Life is only a result of my own beliefs and what I'm doing
Right.
internally. So only work I have, all people who do not understand will always do the hard work. All the people who will understand will only do the inner work, because outside is only a manifestation of what's going on internally. Shift
Right,
internally and your life will change. Your only message is your inner work is your lifelong work. You're never done and you never get it
right.
wrong.
Wow, what a message. Yeah, seriously, because I think as people, we don't think that inner work is something that we have to do every day. Like the best aware people, the cream of the lot also. I mean, there are times when we will just be out of touch with our own selves, and then we keep thinking that why are we not able to achieve those kind of results that we achieved, when we were in that spree. So I think we all have these dungeons, and it's just to know that inner work is not something that you can just do once and be done with it. So I think that's a great message that you have to continuously work with yourself and there is no end to that. And that is something that makes us move forward, makes us grow, and makes us cross our own, limited, like you said, the video game levels and, transcend into better ones and expand our results. Yeah, wow. Great. So it was so great talking to you, Gaurav. And I think the messages are so clear: abundance, application, and journey through love, and applying. I think that's one of the main things that I picked up. That applying the basic concepts and applying however one can. It can obviously be in your own unique way, like you said, how Indians need something else and how Westerners do it in another way. So that is something that we all need to understand as Indians, that our belief systems, our fears are so different, and to come out of those, step out of those, and apply this concept in our life currently to receive our kind of results is, I think, is the key. Great, thank you so much for giving us a little talk, and yeah, really expansive.
Thank you for inviting. It was a pleasure. Happy to share and wish your audience all the best. And this knowledge is for everybody who's, if you're hearing it, you've attracted it. You've asked for it because everything is a result of your asking. And if you kept asking, universal kept answering, be it money, be it health, be it tools, be it teachers, universe never stops. You said, I'm not interested right now. Universe doesn't mind. Tomorrow you might, after a few years, a few months, few weeks, say, I would like it again. Every time you ask, universe responds, and universe loves you immensely. And you're deservable for everything that you're asking for. If you can visualize it, if you
Hmm.
can think about it, then it's not unrealistic.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, visualization, another of my favorite tools. Yes. Yes. Thank you so much. Great. So, uh, we will see you again, maybe in some of your workshops.
So be it.
Great.
So it was nice connecting with you.
Yeah.
Love and blessings to you and all your viewers.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Bye bye.